Hello everyone, I really hope you're well today. I hope everything is good in your life. I've just set up to start filming and oh my goodness, Yoli, she often does this when I film, but she's looking at me with so much love in her eyes and it is honestly, it just melts my heart. It's the most adorable thing in the world. She's just precious. But I, firstly, just want to mention that if you can hear a bit of banging in this part of the video, I am sorry. The builders are literally ripping the side off my block of flats at the moment and it's very loud and I hope won't be too distracting. But yeah, just disclaimer. But I realised that I haven't done a Houseplants Tour UK episode in over a year, which is absolutely crazy. It does not feel like a whole year has passed since I made the last one. But today's one is going to be a lot of fun. Basically, me and Ross decided that we were going to have just a spontaneous weekend away in Bath last weekend. I've never been to Bath before. It was absolutely beautiful. But while we were there, I decided to see if any of you guys had any recommendations for plant shops. And I asked you on Instagram and so many of you came back saying the one that we are going to be visiting today. So yeah, I'm very excited to give you a tour of it and show you what I got as well, because I have come away with some beautiful, beautiful plants. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learnt over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. So yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a tour of Botanica Studio. As I say, it's in the heart of Bath. It's absolutely gorgeous and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So before I get into the tour, I just quickly want to reiterate the fact that this shop was literally chosen by you guys. I wouldn't have known about this plant shop otherwise, so please do continue to let me know your suggestions because I love going to the places that you guys love and discovering new plant shops and garden centres and all sorts. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Also, I know I call this Houseplant Tour UK. By all means, let me know some in other countries as well if you're not UK based, because if I ever decide to do a bit of travelling, I will 100% do an international version of this as well. So yeah, let me know your suggestions. But that's enough waffling. Let's get into the tour of Botanica Studio and then I will show you everything that I bought. So straight off the bat, I just loved the vibe of this shop. It had a really cozy, homey feel about it and an unbelievable selection of plants. It was genuinely hard to know where to begin. The thing that also caught my eye straight away was the size of some of their plants. So often it's hard to get hold of really huge, mature houseplants without growing them yourself from small, but some of these were absolute monsters. I was chatting to the lovely owner, Alice, who started her business in 2017 as a side hustle alongside her barista job. She said she started out driving to plant markets in her little car each week and always had dreams of one day opening a shop. In 2020, her dream finally became a reality and just look at what she's created. I just loved all the attention to detail and all the effort that had clearly been made to make everything look so lovely. As you can see, all the pots have been wrapped in brown paper and there's tons of info about each individual plant presented in such a lovely way. It all just felt so earthy and natural. that I didn't film was the lovely upstairs space they've got, where they run workshops such as terrarium building and kokedama making. If we'd been in the area for longer, I would definitely have been keen to book. It was a shop that I feel like just really had something for everyone, and it was all laid out in a way that made you just want to browse for hours. I kept thinking I'd seen everything and then would just suddenly notice something new and exciting. And talk about big plants, check out this string of bananas. It was literally double the height of me. They also had such a gorgeous selection of pots, baskets and planty accessories. If we hadn't been getting the train home, I could have gone slightly crazy here. Oh my goodness, isn't it such a beautiful shop, genuinely. Bless Ross for letting me drag him around there on our weekend away, but I absolutely, if I'd been there by myself, I could have spent hours in there. I really liked how everything was like, although it was all what am I trying to say, laid out very neatly, it wasn't kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't regimented, like it wasn't like all the pothos plants here and all that there. You could kind of, I don't know, you'd look in one spot and then you'd see a plant that you hadn't seen before, and like it was just, I don't know, I just felt like I was constantly discovering things, and like I'd see one plant and I'd pick that up, and yeah, it was just amazing. I had a great time there, and everyone working there was so lovely as well. So the owner, Alice, I actually met her the day before. I popped in to say hello, but she wasn't able to be there on the day that I actually filmed. But the girls that were working there were absolutely fantastic. They were, I mean, like, I do not mean this in the slightest way to sound patronising, but they were just so clued up and informed and really knew their stuff. And like, as I say, I don't like, well, I think what I mean by that is I've been into so many plant shops and garden centres and stuff over the years, and I've said like, how do you look after this thing? And they'll kind of go, oh, I don't know. Or like they'll give you really inaccurate information. And I was just listening to these girls like chatting to customers and giving fantastic advice on the plants and like kind of going above and beyond. So yeah, it was just a really lovely environment, and honestly I would love to go back. But I did come away with some beautiful plants, and I'm gonna do them in the order, in an order of least excited to most excited, I think. I am excited about all of them, but the first one that I picked up it's a peperomia pickled. I actually didn't know what this one was, but this is what it looks like, and it's so gorgeous. It reminds me very much of the peperomia frost in its structure, but then it's got that gorgeous dark veination. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to grow this plant yet, but I have been playing about a little bit with like open terrariums and stuff, and I feel like this one would just, because it stays quite small, I know it kind of gets bushier, but I feel like this could be a nice addition to that. But yeah, this is one that I kind of just grabbed last minute. Like I had a few other things, and then I was like, do I want it? And then I was like, oh, but I really like it. So yeah, it's so pretty. And if anyone has any tips for this or any of the plants I'm showing you, please do let me know, because I always really value your advice. But that's the first one. Also, I was going to say, all of the plants came with really quite thorough little cards, like telling you what they are, and like notes on the plants and their water and lighting requirements and all that sort of stuff, which is really useful, really, really useful. Oh, okay, and then this next plant I actually got 2 of because I would like to combine them and get a really full one going. I'll show you the plant first and I will attempt to pronounce its name. It is a Stapelio Leavsia. Okay, I'm going to just put the name on the screen because I don't think I'm going to pronounce that correctly. But I saw it initially and I was like, is that some kind of like hanging, like trailing jungle cactus? And I've looked this plant up on the train home and it actually does continue to grow upright by the looks of it. And it can produce these, if I can find a picture, I'll put it on the screen, but these crazy, crazy, huge, almost bell-like pink flowers. And someone that was, I can't remember who it was, one of the lovely women that was working in the shop told me that apparently they smell like rotting flesh, which I know some succulents flowers can. So I'm not particularly looking forward to that, but I just thought this plant was so, so pretty. And the thing that I really love about it as well is that actually it's not, I don't know if the camera will really be able to pick up the texture of it, but it's really, really soft. Like it genuinely feels like velvet. It is just so, so lovely to the touch and not what you would expect at all, because just looking at it like that, it kind of looks a little bit like, I don't know, an epiphyllum or a lepismium or something like that. But yeah, it's got this really gentle, like bunny ears kind of texture. So yeah, I'm gonna combine the 2 and hopefully grow it lovely and big and beautiful and get some of those smelly flowers going, because yeah, it's really cool and it's one that I'm really excited about. Oh, and then I don't know which one to put at the top of the list. I've got 2 more. I think I'm gonna go with this one first. It's very close between these 2, but I'm gonna show you this one next. And this is a plant that actually I have a couple of years ago. I did have this as an imported plant, but this is an Aglaonema pictum tricolour. And oh my goodness, you guys know how much I love Aglaonema, but this one that's actually got quite a different growth structure compared to some other Aglaonema. Like it almost grows more tree-like, and it's also, again, very different in texture. It is really quite velvety. And I really struggled with this Aglaonema the last time, which is funny because as a genus, it's one that I'm always kind of banging on about, saying it's fantastic for beginners, it's really low maintenance, and it's one that I just didn't strike a particularly good balance with the last time around, and I did, as I say, I did lose the plants, which is very sad. It was an imported plant, so maybe there was a little bit of acclimation stuff thrown in, but I do think it was mainly me. So I'm feeling very ready to give this plant another go. It has been back on my wish list since I lost it before. I just think the colours and the markings in its leaves are just incredible, absolutely incredible. It's also just getting ready to give me a new little leaf there, which is very exciting. So yeah, I think I might try this one in pon this time actually, because when I had this plant previously, I wasn't a huge fan of pon. I tried it a couple of times and I was like, oh, I don't really get it. And I grow so many. In fact, apart from one, I believe I grow all of my Aglaonema in semi-hydro now. So yeah, I think that's my plan for the plant. Which means finally, so this is, as I said before, this is one of the plants, the one that I'm about to show you, that I almost didn't notice at first. I was kind of poking through one of the shelves and there was just so much to look at and so much to see, and it was literally just like, it was like a toy shop. It was amazing. And I saw this one right at the back and I was like, what's that? Because it's an alocasia and it's one that I am not that familiar with. And it is an Alocasia scalprum, and it is so beautiful. Like its leaves are so leathery, and I typically don't like repot plants as soon as I get them. I typically don't do very much with them. I just let them acclimate and adjust. However, if you've watched my other videos, you'll know I did very recently lose an Alocasia that I got because of an overwatering issue that I think could have been resolved if I'd done things sooner with the plant. And this one, although it's looking beautifully healthy and it has got a gorgeous little new leaf just there, some of the bottoms of its leaves, the tips, were a little bit crispy. You can see I've actually trimmed it back on these leaves. So I think I probably will get this one out of its soil. It's just in kind of like a standard looking mix at the moment. I think I will very carefully get it out of its soil and just have a little look and make sure everything is healthy. The fact that it's given me such a beautiful, I mean, I had this leaf when I got it, but it's given such a beautiful new leaf with no damage on at all makes me think that this is probably just a little bit of environmental damage, maybe when it was in transit coming to the plant shop, but better safe than sorry with alocasia, because if there's anything bad going on with the roots, if there is any rot at all, if that spreads to the rhizome, then obviously the plants are gone pretty quickly, and we've learnt that again, very recently. But yeah, it's just one that I'm really excited to own and grow. I feel like I'm really stepping back into the alocasia worlds again recently. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't think I ever left the alocasia world, but I do definitely go through phases of certain plants that I adore, and then I kind of come out the other side, and although I still adore them, I will obsess over a different genus. And alocasia, like, I've added some amazing ones to my collection recently. I did also make a top 10 alocasia video on my channel literally last week, I think. So if you want to go see some more amazing alocasias, I will link that video just up there so you can click on it. But yeah, thank you so much, Botanica Studio, for letting me come and visit. I had, as I say, I had such a lovely time, and I'm so happy with the plants that I got. So if you guys are in Bath at any point, it's one I would 100% recommend. And yeah, as I say, let me know in the comments which plant shops, houseplant shops, garden centres, anything like that you would like to see in this series next, because I am absolutely going off your suggestions and letting you guys guide me with this. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.
Stay sexy, plant lovers.